What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode here at Triangulated. Today, we're actually going to do an install and a review. So we're getting ready for the trifecta. We're getting ready to hit Fordyce, Doozy, and Rubicon all together. This time we're running it in the Bronco. We did it last year in the Gladiator. The Gladiator normally gets all the heavy duty rock crawling stuff, but we wanted to see how the 2021 Bronco, the two-door, and how good this platform is. There hasn't been any Broncos that have done Fordyce. There hasn't pretty much been any group that does them all three back to back. Some people do the Rubicon, Fordyce because they're kind of near, but nobody finishes all three, and those are the three big ones here in California. So we're going to take the Bronco, but with that being said, we do have an install. So we are going to be replacing our upper control arms. I'm going to show you guys the differences between the ones we just got from Rock Krawler, obviously the factory ones, and then we do have Total Chaos arms in there. So we're going to show you how those Total Chaos ones have been. I'm going to pull them out, show you how the bearings are, how everything's been working, and seeing how they held up to the abuse for the last, I don't know, good 20,000 miles, 15,000 miles, and then also breaking down what we're going with next. And then I'll also show you what's going to be happening in the rear, and then we're going to go ahead and put those on. But the install is relatively easy. There's plenty of videos online. I just wanted to show you how my stuff looks, because if you guys have been following this Bronco build for the last couple years basically, and all the beating that we've given it, I wanted to show you the difference. So we're going to pull the tires off, and then I'll show you pretty much what to remove if you are going to do it yourself. It is a pretty straightforward process. You remove your tire, you remove this liner, then there's a bolt here, and then you have to pull that big bolt all the way out, and then you put the new arm, and then just pretty much reverse the process. But I wanted to show you how the bushings held up, how the uniball held up. Total Chaos itself, they're well known for IFS parts, so I don't expect anything really bad to be wrong with these arms. But again, we're going to remove them and show you the differences. So here we go. Everything is completely off now. You can see my setup. We're gonna remove this fender liner, and then you can see my yellow fender. I did wrap it, but I blown up a couple fenders because I had bigger tires before, and you can see where either I rubbed or it crashed into here. I didn't like it too high or too low. I always like the center of gravity being kind of centered. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove this nut here, and then we'll take the liner off, and then we'll remove the bolt that goes across and take the arm completely off. Pretty simple process. Alrighty, so we have a 13/16 up top. I'm gonna hold on to that. And then we're gonna turn this bad boy. We're just gonna go ahead and loosen it up for now. Then I'm gonna take the liner off and get it all the way completely removed. Alrighty, so that boy's pretty much all the way off. Let's get it all the way off. Let's get it out of the way now. Okay, there you go. So that's gonna come off completely. Make sure you save all your hardware, because you will be using it when you reinstall the new ones. But that should be it. They should pop off. It is going to slide off relatively easy this time. If you do still have your stock ones, you might have to tap them with the hammer to get them all completely out. But this one is popping out pretty easy. So you can see it's coming out there. So I'll remove that in here shortly. We're going to go ahead and remove the liner. I have damaged my liner. You'll probably still have the nice clips that go around it. I have a few zip ties, a couple things holding it, so this is going to come off really easy. All right, team, so now we're going to go ahead and remove the liner. Again, you'll probably still have this on completely, so it'll be nice. I kind of just pushed it in here, zip tied it quite a bit, so I'm just going to pull this bad boy out. It is going to be relatively dirty if you do wheel often, so make sure you watch your eyes, keep everything clean and out of the way. But it's all basically just clips. You just kind of, you can pry them out or just pull on them a little bit. There is a special tool that you can use to get them out. And then you can just pull these out a little bit easier. There it goes. And then the liner will pop out just like that. Again, it's gonna be really dirty if you do go off-roading quite a bit. So put that to the side. You can dust it off, wash it if you want afterwards. But then it exposes everything. So on this side, there's nothing on the way of getting that bolt completely out. On the opposite side though, you will have to, I think, move one of the steering lines out of the way. So we'll go ahead and see what that looks like once we get there. This one's relatively easy. It's just gonna be one bolt that holds the whole thing across. So you loosen it from here all the way to here. You're gonna hold this nut and then just turn this opposite side. I'll give you the sizing right now. And you can see the Total Chaos arms are a little bit different from the Rock Krawler setup. So we'll show you the differences as we go. Let me get you the sizes for these. All right, so now we're gonna get in here and loosen this one up. I have a 24 on this side and then a 13/16 socket on this side. So we're gonna get in here. These might be a little tight, so you might have to give it some oomph to get them out. Get this in here. I don't think you can fit an impact or anything in here, so just gonna Break this bad boy loose. So we'll see how they look when we get them out. Make sure you save all the washers, anything that comes off, you can clean them out. Just kind of see how they've held up too, because if you need to replace it, this is a good time to do it. So that's completely loose now. We'll pop the arm out. You can move this to the side a little bit. Actually, you know what we're gonna do, just so the axle does not pop out, we're gonna put a nice either a ratchet or some sort of bungee here and, you know, hook it up to the actual shock, so that way we don't worry about this extending out, then the axle pops out and it's a mess. So I'm gonna go get a bungee. I'll be right back. I couldn't find a bungee, but I got a ratchet strap, so I'm gonna do is just hook it up to the shock and honestly just tie it to itself, just so it doesn't move out of the way, because everything is loose now. So we'll loosen that. You see, move that to the side, and then we're just gonna pull this bolt all the way across. Again, you'll have enough space to get the bolt out on this side. You will be dropping a couple of washers, so the bolt's huge, comes out like that, and then you basically just pull the arm out. So first inspection of the Total Chaos arms so far. Honestly, bushings are good. I don't see anything that's wearing out or anything like that. The uniball, it's got a little bit of play, but it's not bad, honestly. It's done really well. So I'll put this on the table and then we'll break it down. But I just wanted to show you what it looks like when it's completely off. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna just repeat the process. So make sure you get anything you dropped, get that with you, because you will need it to reinstall. And you can run the bolt through, put the new control arm on, and we'll get through it. So I'm gonna show you the differences between all three, and then we'll get in here and install the new one. Alrighty team, so now I have all three control arms here on the table. Just wanted to show you some of the differences and then how the Total Chaos ones have held up, some of their features compared to the features on the Rock Krawler, and then you kind of decide which way do you want to go. And then I'll give you guys some road tests and how these feel. Pretty much after this long trifecta, we're gonna see how these have done compared to these, see if there's even a difference. Upper control arms definitely do help, especially once you go up with a lift and you get a little bit taller. You want proper rotation, you want the truck to stay in line, you want it to drive a lot better. The stock ones are usually fine. I've seen a lot of people wheel with these on for quite a bit of time and have zero issues, but I'm sure that if they replace the control arms, they would feel a lot better. But these upper control arms are, they've worked fine. I only had them for 1,000 miles, but I've seen Eli beat them up. I've seen a few other guys not switch them out and still have a lift and do okay. Ball joint, simple urethane in the bottom. Simple setup. If anybody needs some of these too, I have them. These are only about 500 to 1,000 miles in. You can have them. I'm going to keep them in a box for now, but let's get into the Total Chaos ones and into the Rock Krawler one. So I'm going to tell you guys some of the features and whatnot before we actually break them down. So Total Chaos have been awesome. They gave me this set when they first released them about, I don't know, a year and a half ago. We put about 15,000 miles on them, and they've done well. I've double checked everything. Bushings have held up on both sides. You know, all the spacers, all the steel, everything has held up well. The tube has been fine. All the weld are still good. This joint obviously has a little bit of wear, a little bit of play in it. Could be replaced. The cool thing is about both of these arms is you can replace pretty much any piece. So if you did need to service either that one or this one, they both sell the parts separately. So as long as the tube doesn't break, and I do believe they both have lifetime warranty on non-wearable parts, which means obviously not the joints and stuff. You have to fix those yourself after some use. But like if your arm breaks, gives out, or anything like that, they will replace it. So first and foremost, the Total Chaos ones are made out of tubular chromoly, so 4130, super strong, pretty much bolt-on. There's really not much you have to do. They do have a 1-inch uniball, which is up top. Super strong. Again, they've been in the game for Toyota. They've been in the game for a long time. Race trucks, all the above. IFS is really, I think, where they stand out the most, especially because a lot of Toyota guys and their trucks, I've seen a lot of long travel, mid travel. A lot of them run Total Chaos, and they all love them. So I don't think that they have any issues there. They are powder coated. They are made here in the U.S. Complete grade 8 hardware, all of the good stuff from the Total Chaos. It is serviceable. Again, you grease them up, take care of them, they'll take care of you. I wish that they stamped this instead of it being just a sticker, because it comes off and whatnot. Some people care about the aesthetics more than I do, but that part would have been cool if they plated it somehow, kind of like the Rock Krawler did, and just made it look a little cleaner, because the sticker kind of cheapens it out. There is a couple differences with both of these arms, and I'll get through those at the end. I'm just going to show you some of their features. So that's the Total Chaos one. Again, they've been in the game forever. They do well, and you'll have no issues with that. Now, the Rock Krawler one. So the Rock Krawlers are a little bit different. It is boxed. This is all steel. Fully bolt-on application as well. It's 100% silent operation is what they claim, so it shouldn't make any noises. Everything should be nice, serviceable. A couple things that I noticed that are huge differences already is just the joints. This joint's way beefier than the one on the Total Chaos arm, but we'll see how this one does. This is also boxed, so you're not going to get as much dirt and grime and everything in between here, where this one is open. I mean, I never had any issues. I don't do a lot of the mudding and stuff like that, so I don't really have a problem there. But it does rub here, so there is that problem that I have noticed not only on this Bronco, but I've seen it on a couple other control arms. And actually, one of our guys broke one of these on the trail because it was hitting that, so the unit ball bolt and ended up kind of cracking there and snapping. So that was an issue, but you don't have to worry about that with the Rock Krawler one. Again, fully serviceable joints. And it's supposed to take a lifetime of abuse. The actual shell, the actual construction is lifetime warranty. All the joints you'll have to replace as you use them. But Jeremy and Rock Krawler have been around for a very long time. They've been in the game with the Jeep side for a very long time. All their stuff is super stout when it comes to the Jeep application, so I don't see any problems there. The Pro X steering joints are in there too, so I don't see these having any issues either. Again, this isn't a knock to either one. They're both awesome arms. Two of the main differences is price wise. So price, these are about $1,200 shipped to your house, where these are $850. So that's a huge difference when it comes to pricing, especially if they're both going to work relatively well. Again, 20,000 miles. These are fresh out the box. So we're going to see how these make it through the rest of the time. So we're going to see how these do after 15,000 miles. Hopefully there's no problems. We'll huck it, do some rough rock crawling and see how these go. And then the joints. So these rotate a little bit, which will give you a little bit more free rotation, where these do not. There's a couple differences there. And then obviously these are boxed, welded, super strong. These are a little bit heavier. These are chromoly anyways, so you're not going to have a problem there anyways. It's going to be very rare that you break these unless you're like completely racing. Something could fail, I guess, if you didn't really pay attention to them. But I don't see these having any problems when it comes to construction either. That's what it is, man. Total Chaos arms, $1,200. These are $850. It really just depends what you want to go with. The construction and aesthetics, I think the Total Chaos ones are just simpler. So it looks cool. These are a little bit different. They're boxed. It would have been cool if they framed it here, but I'm sure that they dropped the beads here just so it can be a lot stronger and it won't be on the edge. But I truly believe that these arms are going to do well. We're going to put these on, and then what I'll do is I'll jump on the other side and just show you the difference where you have to remove that steering bolt and then get that rack, get that piece of the steering out of the way, so that way you can pull the bolt all the way through. But the install is basically just the reverse of the removal, relatively easy. Again, just hang it to get out of the way. You're going to run the bolt all the way through, keep all your spacers and stuff, and then you're going to put the new ones back on. If you are running the factory ones just come off with the 2 bolts, and that's it. Jeremy does give you an extra nut for this. It is a 9-lock also, so you don't have to worry about it coming loose or putting Loctite or anything in it. But I will be putting Loctite on the long bolt that goes across on this bad boy, just to kind of make sure that it stays in place. But that's pretty much it, man. We're going to go ahead and throw it on, and then we'll get to the next one. Alrighty, team. So we're going to get in here, put these bad boys on. Again, pretty easy. You're gonna throw it over the shock tower. And you're gonna go push it back, get it all the way back there. And once you do, you grab your big bolt and get it all the way across. Go all the way through, give it a little bit of tap, get it in there. Okay, there it goes. Seems that we got that bolt in from the top. Now we're just gonna push this over, get the joint, line it up, and move it up over there. You might need a jack to lift this up just to kind of give you the push you need. And that's gonna go. Alrighty, team, so now that the bolt's completely on through there, we're gonna go ahead and put the joint in here. You're gonna have to play with this a little bit, kind of get it into position. You can mess with the joint a little bit, you can go there. And then they do give you hardware and everything that you need. So you're gonna put the spacer if you do have the Rock Krawler setup. If it's a different setup, they're all kind of the same. Sometimes they'll give you like a bushing for the top. If it's the uniball setup from Total Chaos, it'll have a little bit of a different setup. But you get this bad boy in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and just use the wrench. Tighten it. It'll start kind of shifting on its own. You can put a jack underneath it to push it all the way up. That way you take a little bit of the stress away, but it's not necessary. You can do it this way also. I'm gonna get it in there as much as I can. Again, then I'll look up the torque specs, and then we can do that. It is nylock again, so you won't have to put like anything. You won't have to put Loctite or anything like that. That bad boy all the way in. So I'll go ahead and tighten it here shortly. I just want to show you the full setup I have on my Bronco, because people ask me quite frequently what I've done to it, and honestly it's pretty stock. The rest of my setup is 2.5 coilovers. I did mount my resi right in between the frame and the body right there because there's plenty of space. Same coilover setup has done me well. I do have JKS sleeves. Everything else is factory steering rack, factory lowers. Basically everything else is factory, and it's done really well. So there it is. That's the complete setup. Now we're gonna jump to the other side. Alrighty team, so I'm out to the driver's side now. So on the driver's side, again, you're gonna run into a little issue here. Once you unbolt this bolt right here, the steering shaft is in the way. So you're gonna put a 10mm down here. That'll let you get this piece out, and you can push this out of the way. And then all you have to do is put it back in, and then put that 10mm back in. And then honestly, same thing. We already removed this nut, remove the top one, and the whole thing comes out. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap this whole thing over. I'll show you what the final setup looks like on the driver's side, and then I'll put the liner back in. My liner was all beat up too, so I'm gonna have to put some zip ties and whatnot on it. This is a good time too if you wanted to wash this part, throw some soap, kind of clean it up a little bit to get everything out of here. It's a good time to do it since you already removed the liner. But we're gonna go ahead and knock this out. Everything's back on, splash guards are back on. I had to zip tie them again. You can see the yellow fender still sticking out, but everything's completely bolted on. Super easy process. And then the only other thing that you have to do is make sure you go back in there and torque everything properly. I think it's 90 foot-pounds up top and then 60 at the bottom, but go ahead and check your specs, check online to make sure you get those correct. But that pretty much wraps it up, man. I just wanted to show you a short video and how the Total Chaos control arms have held up so far. Honestly, they're still good. The uniballs are a little bit worn, a little bit of damage on the inside, but to say the least, these are pretty stout and they've done well. So yeah, I could probably still rock these for another 10,000 miles, no issues. But now that we do have the freshies, we're definitely gonna test them out and see how they go. And then we'll rebuild these and have them ready just in case we do damage some, or maybe they'll go to one of our friends. But it is like 250, 300 bucks to replace all the bushings, get it all stout, clean it up, get it all ready. They're 1,200 bucks compared to the 850. What we're gonna do is we're gonna close out the video here. Appreciate you guys sticking around. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It was just honestly quick install, show you how the Total Chaos arms look, and that's pretty much it. We're going to continue getting ready for the trifecta. I am going to show you the triangulated kit that's going to go on. I have it back here. That's going to be the next step. We're going to take it to Gus at All Terrain. The triangulated kit is right here. So it's basically the truss. The truss is right there, and then the control arms are right here. I did get the lowers and the uppers, so that way I have both, and it completes the set. So there it is. This goes on the rear axle, and it shifts the arms up to the top. Should give us way better droop, should control a lot better on the road. Gets rid of the track bar also, and it should be a lot happier too, because the back binds up quite a bit when you're at full flex, and now it's just going to drop nice and flat. So but that wraps it up, man. Thank you for sticking around. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, all that good stuff. This was a short video, but we will see you next time. We will be at the Rubicon, we'll be at Fordyce, we'll be at Doozy, and we'll see if the Bronco could survive. Comment below, let us know, and we'll see you next time.